Good morning, everybody. It's Javier, and I'm excited to be with you here this morning to share with you information to help elevate your mortgage origination business and take it to the next level, especially when you consider that the end of the year is here and we are already, or you should be working in 2022 mode. I think 2022 is going to be an outstanding year. This year has been a great year as far as production and income for our loan originators, but there's also some of you who have not been able, for whatever reason, get yourself to the level that you should be. And I'm hoping that this today will help you just do just that. Now, I have some unrelated business that I wanted to share with you. So if you bear with me and give me just 4 or 5 minutes of your time, I really do want to share this with you because I think it's important. Now, as you guys know, I travel a lot. You know, I was just in Dubai. I just came back from Mexico City. I was there this past a week. And next week I leave, or in a week and a half, I leave for Cabo. Cabo is the place we visit probably 6 times a year, on top of everything else, because the weather, obviously. Number two, it's so close. Hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40 minutes, you're there nonstop from LAX. Also, number 3, beautiful places. I mean, the one that we stay at the most is the one that you see here, which is called Pueblo Bonito, which is a golf and spa resort. They have a lot of them all over the world, but in my opinion, this is the best because the golf course is designed by Jack Nicklaus, and it's just a beautiful, gorgeous place, which is this one right here. It's built kind of on a cliff because it gives every suite, which is all there is, suites, an ocean view. It's got 7 pools. I think it's 11 restaurants, and on and on and on. This year, we were buying a property, either Ensenada or Rosarito, with a friend of mine. We were going to buy it for $350,000. So when you buy property in Mexico, you can't finance it. There's no mortgages per se like they are here. So we were going to just split it half and half, pay cash, and Airbnb it or whatever. The only challenge we had was that the management of the place is just a pain. When it's just a single property, blah blah blah. So anyways, to make a long story longer, my partner that I was going to buy it with, he actually went and Airbnb'd a unit that you see in this resort. It's a gated community. Like I said, it's got all the amenities you can imagine, from restaurants to golf to spa, blah, blah, blah. And when he stayed there, they made him aware of a new development that they have right there. It's actually, you can see it from here. And so what it is I thought it was really cool. We were going to put out 100, whatever the hell it was, 175,000 each by the time everything was said and done. Well, they ended up showing him the new development that they have here, which is not a timeshare. I can't stand timeshares. If you like timeshares, bless your heart. I don't like them. I've never had it. I'm anti timeshares, but they do have a thing with this called a fractional ownership. And fractional ownership simply means you take a property, deed it in your name, which we can do here in the States, of course, which just means you own a part of it, which is what I was going to do with my friend. We were going to do 50-50. So I own 50%, he owns 50%, we're done. This one takes it to 20 people. And so when you do that, you own 1/20th of it. Unlike a timeshare that you get an assigned week and that's it, and you're screwed if you don't go there and you have to pay monthly fees every month and all this. This one doesn't work that way. This one, you only pay a maintenance fee every time you use it, which is $500 a week for 7 days. And so if you don't use it, you don't pay. Very, very simple. And the best part is my friend stayed here because he rented an Airbnb at this location. So if you can't, for whatever reason, if you can't go and actually stay at the, use your week for whatever reason, you can put it on Airbnb and they manage it for you and send you a check for the difference. So you actually make money. It's an investment. And so they know me because I travel a lot. I have a blog and I have all kinds of stuff on the travel side that I'm going to be featuring them on. And so what ended up happening, we canceled our plan for the $350,000 home we were going to buy, and we're going with these people now. And the reason for it is pretty simple. I secured a package that what we're going to get is we're going to get 4 weeks instead of 1. We're going to get 4 weeks a year. You get to choose whatever weeks. You're not assigned the specific week of the year like a timeshare. It's not a timeshare. And what's really nice about this is that you can go ahead and either use it, and when you do use it, you pay $500. So you're not paying any maintenance fee any other time of the year, only when you use it. And if you cannot use it, then you can put it on Airbnb, rent it out, which is my friend. My friend paid $22.50 for his week. He got the unit that he got was $22.50. And so he paid, and so the owner they deducted $500 for the maintenance fee, and the rest goes to the owner, which is to you. Now, some people are buying these just for Airbnb all the time. They don't want to go. They just want to make money. Either way, it's up to you. But here's the cool part, and I'm calling it cool because I'm about to sign my own loan docs on this property as well, is that I'm going to go ahead and help them, for the lack of a better phrase, through a referral program, have people check it out. And so the way it works is if you were interested in something like this, you would get the 4 weeks every single year. You can use them back to back to back or spread them out throughout the year, whatever you want to do. You cannot, let's just say you only use 2 weeks a year. The other 2 weeks, you can Airbnb them and make money. And here's the best part. There's no monthly maintenance fees. Like I said, the only maintenance fees you pay are when you use it. And if you rent it out that week, well, then they just deduct $500 from whatever rent you charge your guest, and they send the difference to you. Unbelievable. And the best part is that the one that they have on sale right now is only $20,000. $20,000. That's it. And so for $20,000, and once you pay off the $20,000, then at that point, you never have a payment again. All you have to pay is your maintenance fee beyond that every time you use it, and only when you use it, which I thought was simply incredible. I'm going in a week and a half. So if any of you, let me just fast forward. Now, remember what I said, it's an actual spa, and it's got 7 pools, tons of restaurants. It's an active resort, just so you know. Well, like I said, that's where we stay when we go. And part of the reason we like it so much is because it's they have an all-inclusive package. First-class restaurants, bars, pools, kids areas. That's why we go there and we stay there. And when you are an owner, you can actually choose to opt into the all-inclusive package or not. We're going there next week. We're only going to take the all-inclusive for 2 days, and the rest of the days, we're not going to do that whatsoever. And so how many people can fit? How many people can go there? That's a great question. The answer is the one that I'm getting, which is the presidential suite, is 3 bedrooms. It sleeps up to 9 people. Now, if you can fit more in there, that's up to you, but that's what it's designed for, of course. They also have a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and the presidential suite. The only thing bigger than an actual presidential suite is a whole house. You can buy it for $1.6 million, or you can simply rent it. I'm going to give you guys a webinar for those that are interested in this to know more. That's not what I'm doing here today. This is obviously for our MLOs, but I love, I just came back from Dubai, Abu Dhabi. I just came back from Mexico City last week. I'm sorry, I got here Thursday. I just got back here 2 days ago. We travel a lot. We travel around 60 to 80,000 miles a year, just 100% for pleasure, no business. And we are value travelers. So we're always looking for deals. And I don't think you can beat this one, to be honest with you, to be able to do that. So anyways, if you want to be invited to that webinar, I'm not going to do that until I come back from Cabo myself with my loan docs in hand to show you all the details, because they do have a referral program. I'm not doing it for the referral. I'm just doing it to share it with you, because a lot of people, like me, I was about to give them 300,000 when you can do it for 20. And here's the best part. The 20,000 you can finance. You give them $3,000, I believe, down. You can finance the rest for $300 over 4 years or whatever it is. And you never have a payment again, except for the maintenance fee when you use it. Yet you have access to the entire facility like you were an actual guest at the resort. You can Google or go to Expedia, type in Pueblo Bonito Sunset Beach. They have other sister resorts in Cabo that you can also use. Make sure you're at Sunset Beach. That's the new one, which is the one you're looking at right now. And price it. 7-day stay there. You're going to be blown away how expensive it is. Whereas here, for a couple $100, you can actually stay a whole week, and you can stay 4 weeks of a year if you wanted to do that, or simply Airbnb it out, which is how my friend found it. He actually Airbnb'd it himself. What I want to do, this is just a few of the shots that you saw there of the actual resort. Incredible swim up bars. I mean, this is where when we go there, incredible views, fancy restaurants, fast casual restaurants. They have it all. The lobbies looks like more like a museum. The views are incredible, blah, blah, blah. And they also have a spa that you have to pay for, of course. But if you do that, you're able to do just that as well. On a side note, I also want to remind everybody what I use when I travel. It's called right here, Gate 1 Travel. again, I get nothing for this. I'm not an affiliate with Gate One. I don't get anything. I just want to share it with you. They do have a special going on until the end of this coming week. 8 days in Paris and Amsterdam. You literally fly into Paris from New York, and then you take the train to Amsterdam, and then you fly from Amsterdam back to New York. $899 for the whole thing, including airfare, including hotel, including breakfast every day, and transportation via the rail that I just described to you as well at $899. You can't beat that. I think you should travel while you can. Don't wait until you, quote, retire to do it, because you're probably going to be too tired to enjoy it. And so I encourage everybody to do that. What good is it to have money if you don't enjoy it? There was times in my life where for a good stretch in the mortgage industry, I was making, $800,000-$900,000 a year, like nothing. And we did that for many, many years, yet we did nothing with it. We went nowhere. And so I'm telling you, don't be me. Enjoy it. If travel is your thing or your dream or whatever, do it while you can. Do it while you have the money. It takes a lot less than you can know. If you are interested in this thing that I'm describing to you guys right now, I'm not licensed. I'm not, selling you this. I'm just saying information. I'm going down there, but I don't want to bug everybody that might not be interested. If you are interested in knowing this is a 99-year contract. So it is yours for those 99 years. You can sell it. You can will it to your kids. You can also let other people stay there, like friends, family. You can also Airbnb it, like I said, for 20 grand for a 3-bedroom presidential suite, less if you just get a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom or even a studio. Part of what I'm working out with these people is that those that are seriously interested in it, I want to be able to arrange for you to go down there and stay at the resort. I'm going there for only 3 nights, because I don't have a lot of time. I just got back, like I said, from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Mexico City. I got stuff I got to work on. Otherwise, I would stay there the whole week. But if you wanted to go down there, if you're serious about it, and if you got the resources, go down there, check it out for yourself, and stay there for a couple of days for free. You just pay for your airfare. I saw Spirit Airlines. They have one flight that leaves every day from LAX to Cabo for $69. Now, they probably make you stand the whole damn flight for $69. But again, if you don't want to blow all the money in the world, money's not an issue, because I'm sure you spend at least $69 a day when we are just existing here at home. So if you are interested in learning more about this, I'm not saying that you're going to buy it. I'm not saying you're going to go. But if you just want to know more about it, do me a favor, in the chat box, just type in interested, because I'm taking a picture of the names right now, and I'll send you to the private webinar I'm going to hold, and I'm actually going to hold a live video tour when I'm there. And, because you say, hey, go to that room, go to the left, go to the right. I'm going to do all that stuff because I just like to do for others what I wish somebody would do for me. Doesn't mean you're going to buy, doesn't mean anything. But let me tell you something, man. You can, now, as you all know my story, I got, my wife, 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a bird, and they all depend on me. What I'm doing is, the reason that I'm doing the presidential suite and the reason that I'm hustling the referrals for them is because if you do a referral, which I'm trying to make it official, part of the deal, I guess you could call it. What I want to do is I want to, every person I refer to, they're going to give me an extra week, and that week I'm giving to my kids. And so if I get one a year, they're going to get one of my weeks anyways. They're going to get 2 of my weeks, but I'm doing it more for my kids because, I just want to help them out. That's all, my grandkids. That's all I want to do. It's not just going to be you that actually benefits from it. It's friends, family. If you wanted to give it to your list, I'll give you an example. If you wanted to just simply give a week, now this is a little different than the vacation certificates, because here you own it, and so it's a write-off. So because I'm going to go sign loan docs in a week and a half, I'm not going on vacation to Cabo. I'm going on a site inspection. They give you the IRS form that you're going to need to write off the whole thing anyways. So I'm not going there to vacation. I'm there. So when you hear me, I'm going to say, hey, I'm here doing the site inspection, which is, real estate related. And now it's 100% write-off. It's not a timeshare. It's not a timeshare. It's not a timeshare. I want to make sure you understand that. We're talking fractional ownership. I'm very familiar with it because I was about to sign the docs on another property using a fractional ownership. Here, I just don't need it the whole year. I just don't want to have the headaches for the whole year. I don't want to have the headaches of Airbnb-ing it. Here, when you Airbnb it, like my friend did, he just thought it was from a person that was going to meet him at the door with the keys type of thing. You're just directed to the front desk. They check in with the front desk. They have the credit card on file for incidentals at the front desk. They just deduct your 500 at the end of the stay and send the difference to you. How much better can it get? How much better can it get? And so anyways, okay, so that's it. I'm moving on. The last person I have for you is Ivan interested. Everybody else is already in, because I don't want to come back to it. I don't want to waste time. So, all right, let's go and move on. Thank you so much. And I'll be sure to invite you. And I'm going to do a live session that you're going to be able to, again, direct me. Go left, go right, all that other stuff as well. So thank you. So, all right, enough of that. Let's just continue with what I wanted to share with you here today. And this is something that's very near and dear to my heart, because if you were to ask me what's near and dear to your heart as it relates to the actual mortgage business, the answer by far is pretty simple, and that is your success. I'm not worried about myself. I've learned how to make things work within the industry. I've been in it for over 20 years. I've been able to not just survive but thrive, and that's what I challenge you to do. Don't be one of these survivors that are barely making it to pay their renewals on their license, and it hurts every time. I want you to make sure you thrive, and it's simpler. It's not easy, but it's pretty simple if you keep a certain amount of things in mind. And that's what we're going to talk here today. Now, this webinar is going to, oh, by the way, if you're watching this, okay, everybody wants to be interested, type it right now, guys. I don't want to have to come back because I don't record the comments. I got to take a picture of it, so I don't want to be doing that. So anybody that's interested in that Cabo vacation thing I just told you, make sure you typed in interested, because I don't want to come back to it. I don't want to ignore you either. It's just that I want to focus on this. So here we go. SWOT. Now, not to be confused with SWAT as the police SWAT. This is SWOT marketing template for loan originators. This is what I want you to understand. This is what I need you to, okay, one more, okay, that's it, right there. What I need you to understand. Success, and the reason I've been, and I'm not bragging out here, I'm not tooting my own horn, I'm just saying that it is what it is. The reason I've been able to help my team, not the bank, not the companies, but I've been helping my team. We've closed billions of dollars. And very few individuals, companies can say that all day long, but I'm just an individual. I don't work for the bank. I work for you. The reason we've been able to close billions of dollars in mortgages in my 20 plus years, myself and my team, especially my team, is because of the fact that we leave nothing to chance. So if your success or your number of closed loans this month was not what you wanted it to be, then you must ask yourself why. You got to ask yourself why. Where did you go wrong? Or in most cases, where did you fail to execute? And I hope this helps you. This is a template that you are going to be able to get the recording of this on our YouTube channel. I don't answer a lot of questions during the week regarding stuff that we really should have all known, but I'm going to text you in the chat box, www.rmb on YouTube. If you go to the domain that I just sent you, which is our YouTube channel, click on the subscribe and then the notifications bell. That's how you subscribe to our channel. Every time a new video is uploaded, you get notified. So you don't have to be checking every 5 minutes or whatever. You just simply get notified. And so therefore, that's why it's so important to subscribe to our channel. That's where everything goes. So this video,
Javier,
go ahead.
Javier, I think that you typed in the wrong URL.
Oh,
is it RMB or RMN? Is it
RMB on YouTube? Thank you.
There you go.
And so thank you. RMB on YouTube.com. Disregard the earlier one. RMB on YouTube.com is where you go and get the information. Now, so having said that, like I said, this is just intended to be a template. So it will be online, it will be on YouTube, but my recommendation, try to write the stuff down right now. There's only 4 things you need to write down, so it's not that difficult. That has helped me tremendously as well. Let's just move forward because we got to get right to it. So we're talking about the ultimate loan officer marketing template. This loan officer marketing template is a guide to create lasting sales success in your business model. The most profitable lenders and loan officers create a mortgage marketing plan that guides them through the volatile housing market. This template will help you build your business's foundation, hone in on a target audience, create value, and scale your efforts. Now, I'm going to ask you several questions that you're going to have to answer. If you would unmute yourself and do it out loud, great. If not, don't worry about it, but at least answer it in your head. Now, SWOT, again, don't confuse it with the police SWAT with the name. This is SWOT with an O. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. A SWOT analysis allows you to determine where your business model will thrive and what will hold you back from success. I've made it a life to not just study success as to what it takes to succeed. I've studied why people fail even more. I spent more time on saying, why is it that some loan officers just, I mean, like I said, if our top end rep can tell you 6 to 8 fundings a month, like nothing. And the key word is consistently doing that every month. They just do it. So I don't study those people too much. I study the rest of them that are not. And there are always going to be common denominators on both sides. And we'll talk about those as well. So I don't care if you're funding 8 every single month like clockwork, or you're maybe funding 1, or maybe you haven't even funded your first loan. Everything can change between now and November. And of course, your life can change forever between now and January 1st. That I hope you kick off January knowing what you need to do and are doing it. All of us are too old to start playing this game about how we'll start tomorrow, we'll start next week, we'll start in a fresh month. We got to shake that off and know that we don't have that much time left, both in the industry, because if you don't make what you need to make, you're going to wash out like so many people do. And therefore, you'll never achieve what you came to achieve. And what a shame, because you can do it. You're not here by accident. You're not here by coincidence. Understand that you are here both in the industry, mortgage industry, and within our bank and within my team for a reason. I've helped people make billions of dollars and fund billions of dollars in mortgages and make millions of dollars in income. And you can be part of that success story. But the question is, are you ready? Are you ready? Most say they are, but deep down inside, they're just not. And so, therefore, a SWOT is a great way to focus on your goals and build a strong foundation for long-term success. And I'm telling you, the one thing I want to help you achieve is lasting success. I don't want you to be just the flavor of the month or having a good quarter. I want you to have a good, profitable life that allows you to go out there and enjoy it. Now, here's a question that I have for you. And you don't have to answer it. If you want to, unmute yourself and do so. But there's 2 types of people in this world. Those that live to work and those that work to live. What kind of person are you? Anybody? I mean, I don't know.
Live to work.
Okay, I mean, a lot of the time, now, here's what I will tell you also. There are times where we have to all pay the price and we have to live to work so that someday we can go ahead and start working so we can live. And so I'm not trying to, make anybody feel bad or anything, because I don't know who you are, where you're at, and any of that good stuff. But again, work to live. And so I now today am happy to report that along with a lot of other people that are on my teams, we work so we can live. I'm thinking, what's my next trip? I'm depressed right now because we were supposed to leave next month for Greece, but they canceled the cruise portion because of COVID, and I'm dying. What the hell? Where are we going now? And so I'm not trying to impress you, but rather impress upon you that it's possible. I started working I was in the military. I got out of the military, worked as a janitor. Very quickly looked around me, and I had people that had been janitors for 30 years that were never able to achieve what they wanted to based on the income and the position of a janitor. So I knew I had to change that. I knew very quickly, very young, that I just didn't see myself being a janitor for 30 years. I just didn't want to. Nothing wrong with that. Very humble work. I learned a lot. I'm glad that I did it. But man, I was like, I was aging in my early 20s from being up all night, go to sleep in the morning, get awoken in the morning by the office manager. Somebody missed a trash can here. Somebody forgot to flush a toilet over there. I mean, I very quickly realized I better myself quickly. And I was able to do that with the police department. It saved my financial life. However, I found myself in another trap. Now, even though I loved what I did, it took my entire day and into the night. It just took my whole time. No vacation, no this, no that. I was willing to take it for the team, meaning my family. They, were stable. But just like you, all of you, you do have this thing called what, the ancient Greeks referred to as that eternal restlessness. You're destined to be somebody. You're destined to help your family. You're destined to help people. And you also know it takes money. And so I walked away on my 10th year anniversary of my career with the police department was exactly March 20th of 1995 to March 20th of 2005. And mortgages is what did it for me. My last year as a full-time police officer, I was making $105,000 a year part-time. And I was making around $75,000 as a full-time cop. So I'm telling you, I know the world of mortgages pretty well. And so that's why I'm preaching this to you, that I was able to do it and I'm still doing it. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm just telling you that if I'm going to go anywhere and I'm going to hire a guide, I want a guide that not only has done it, but hell, if I can find one that's still doing it, how much better can it be? Because now all fingers point back at me. Either it's up to me to make it or not make it, not because of my lack of support, because it's all here. And so thank you for participating with that question. Some are working to live, living to work. I mean, it's you, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I will tell you that step number one in the process of achievement is to analyze where you stand, who you are, what you do, and what you don't do. And can you do that? So many of us love to lie to ourselves. Man, if only the market was better. Man, if only this was better. If rates were lower, if rates were higher, if this or that. Well, maybe if you just got around to doing what you need to do, like me, we got to do it. I was in Mexico, like I said, I was in Dubai. Everywhere I've been, and some of you here know it because I told you I was there doing recruiting webinars. I was recruiting people. I was, talking to clients. I was doing it all because technology. There's a thing called that intrigued me about 20 years ago. I heard of something called, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called the laptop lifestyle. And I was like, what the hell is that? And I looked into it. I said, man, if I could do that. Now, because of COVID, everybody knows what a virtual meeting is. Nobody wants to meet you in person and have you, speak all over them and cough all over them and sneeze all over them. Hell yeah, they want to do virtual. And so I've been talking to our potential recruits and clients from all over the world, all from my laptop. Just give me a good Wi-Fi connection to my laptop, which I encourage you, if you're a Mac, I just bought the brand new MacBook Air, the newest one. What happened is I went to Mexico from Sunday to Thursday. I just bought it. It's the MacBook Air. It's $899. The price is $999. If you mentioned that you are affiliated with a student, like my daughter, they took off $100 off. It was $899. I'm sorry, it was $899. They took $100 from there. It was $799, and that was it. Oh, and then if I which I don't need to finance it, but if you finance it from them, they give you trade-in credit for your old laptop. I did. So my brand new MacBook Air ended up costing $379. But the best part is the battery. I charged it up. I've been using it, loading it up with all the software. And then when I went to Mexico, I forgot the damn charger at home. Now, when I forgot my charger at home other times, somebody back home, I have them FedEx it to me because I need it. My battery lasts 3 hours and it's dead. Well, this one now lasts 16 hours. And I was there doing webinars, working every day on Sunday because I left really early. So I had all Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday until Thursday when I flew back. And I came back home with 20% still battery life on the laptop without ever having to charge it. So anyways, in case you're a nerd or a computer nerd like me, best investment I ever made. Literally love that thing to death. So anyway, so let's go and continue with the SWOT analysis. So like I said, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So let's get into it right now. Let's start with strength. Under the strength section, write things you do well, qualities that separate you from competitors, internal resources, and assets. As a loan officer, you can list your company's sales resources, private website that generates organic traffic, or even strong realtor partnerships. You will lean on these strengths through the course of your business. So tell me about your strengths. Anybody? Start with you, please. Just so you know, it's very difficult to succeed in anything, especially real estate and mortgages, when you are shy, when you're a secret agent. That's almost impossible to do. Please, anybody, tell me about your strength as a person, as a loan officer.
Well, one of my strengths, Javier, is that I have a strong database and I like to work relationally with people.
Perfect. We talked about a while back about the importance of databases and so on. So if you have one, you're definitely, first of all, you acknowledge that you have it, which is really cool. I was just talking to a group of people that do life insurance earlier at 9 o'clock. And our number one producer for last month is somebody with 14 actual applications as a system, which is incredible. And she got them all through an email list I gave her 2 years ago of educators. So yeah, you're right. The money's in the list. In marketing, that's our favorite quote of all. The money is in the list, because if Michael gives me that list, guess what? I'm going to start emailing them. I'm going to start reaching out to them. And one of the trainings that we have coming up, just so you know, is training on Pixel and Facebook ads. Does anybody know what Pixel is? Anybody?
Yeah, pixels help you in retargeting in social media.
And retargeting, absolutely. And that's something that's extremely important, because of the fact that it lets you customize your message to specific people that maybe they were past clients, their current clients, or whatever the case might be. So we'll talk about that later. Anybody else? Strength, technology, a device is technology. Okay, which is, I think, one of the best strengths to have right now. Anybody else? What's your personal strength? Why you? Because remember, at the end of the day, when I sit down and I strategize with new loan officers, existing loan officers, I don't deal too much with senior, successful loan officers, because they're already doing it. They're getting what they want. I deal with the ones that are struggling to get to where they want to be. And the question that I keep asking them is, why you? Why you? So why you? Doesn't sound too convincing right now, does it? Or we cannot answer that question ourselves. Why you?
One of my strengths is just the ability to openly communicate clearly with people and willing to talk to them about whatever their situation is, whether it's, a pending opportunity or not, whether it's future or now.
Perfect. And that falls under what I refer to, because what do you think is your greatest, I'm not going to talk about it now, but what are the greatest challenges to a loan officer? What do you think it is out there right now? Anybody?
Competition.
What is it?
Competition, I guess.
Okay, we're there. We're getting there. But specifically, what competition is? If you say one of the biggest threats to your business, or you as a, you do realize you're kind of like a older way of doing business, because we're all dealing with people one-on-one. Who writes the most mortgages in this country? What do they have in common? Let's just say the top 2 loan originating companies on this earth in the U.S. What do they have in common?
Marketing.
Marketing. Almost there. What is
Technology.
it? Technology. They don't know these people. They don't know their clients. This one company is doing $35 billion in fundings a month. Unbelievable. Billion. And how many of those people that they originate for do you think they knew? How many?
Not many.
Zero.
None. And how many of those people do you think they actually met with in person?
Oh,
Zero.
No.
None. And so what I'm getting at is that you can look at that and say, damn, that's a hell of a threat, right? Or, which is what I'm going to tell you, you've got high tech, we have high touch, and we have both. High tech, this is where high tech means high touch, because we have, not all of them, but we have a lot of what they have technology-wise. Everybody gets their money from the same place, but it's hard for you to keep up with them, because they're blasting the damn internet and TV with commercials every 3 minutes, where you don't have that. But you do have that strength that in this example, both Michael, Stephen, they have it, the list, and they have to acknowledge it. So the reason I'm pulling teeth here, because I want you to realize what you have. All of you have some kind of database, your friends, your family, past clients, past real estate clients. You know how many people we come to us that are active real estate agents? If you've ever sold a home to anybody, have you contacted them? For most people, the answer is no. And so that's part of the training, that why we're here. We want to make sure we help you understand that you've got what it takes. You can win. Don't quit. Every year, people quit. Every single year, people quit the mortgage industry like they quit the real estate industry, unless they have somebody like a spouse that can subsidize them with their job, because you're not making the money. Okay, that's fine. We all start somewhere, but we got to get you up and earning on your own feet. But you got to do your part, buddy. Tell me whatever you tell me about your qualities, but just don't tell me about your license. I know that. And that means nothing if you cannot leverage it and monetize it. So what are the strengths you have? Anybody? No, so nobody else has any strength. So that's why nobody's dealing with you then. No strength. Nobody has anything to bring to the table.
Well, at this point, I've got a backlog of understanding the market and economics of buying,
Experience,
selling,
okay.
refinancing. I know how to leverage all the tools that are available.
That's cool, because that's an important part of this. It says here also your company sells resources, could be one of them. But what we're trying to do is increase the number of overall strength and balance them out. That's the companies. So you know how to leverage them. That's great. But again, like for instance, you understand, Gary, specialized markets more than anybody, probably more than anybody on this webinar. I mean, you've seen it on the life insurance side. And guess what? It's the exact, I go in and when I talk to police, when I talk to teachers, I don't separate one versus the other. Hell, if it works for one, it'll work for the other. You see me do it with police officers. I talk about retirement, and I always end my retirement talk with, oh, by the way, there's only two types of officers in this room, those that own a home and those that need to own a home. If you already own a home, congratulations. However, as you know, rates are at historic lows. So if we can reduce your monthly mortgage payment by even a couple of $100s, why don't you take that money and redirect it towards your retirement, your kids' college fund? Anything is better than giving it away to the bank. And now, if you don't own a home, I get it. Homes are expensive. Sometimes we don't have the closing cost money, and I get it. However, we have a program just for police officers and their families. If we represent you on the real estate side and on the mortgage side on your initial purchase, we will pay for every penny of your closing costs, meaning all you have to do is literally bring your down payment. And if you're a veteran, we can get you in with nothing out of pocket, and you can fire your landlord. Fill out this form, put your name, phone number, and circle which one applies to you. Are you looking to buy, sell, or refi? And we can help you, like we literally have helped thousands and thousands of fellow law enforcement personnel. And you know how much business we've gotten from that little line I just read to you right now? Unbelievable. So if you've seen that, leverage that. Anybody else? Last call for strength. Nobody else has any strength. So only 4 or 5 people have strengths here. Anybody else? All right, let's move on. Okay, and like I said, we want to highlight part of the problem, not in a bad way, because I want you to change it. But guys, if you cannot do this in a webinar where nobody can even see you, it's going to be impossible to do it with strangers and other places that you're going to have to do this as well. Now we're getting to the W, which stands for weakness. For weakness, you need to be as unbiased as possible, which is very difficult. I was having a conversation with my wife regarding an issue with somebody else, and I was telling her, you know, us as human beings, we're so quick to point out mistakes in other people and faults in other people. But yet when it comes to ourselves, of course, oh no, we're perfect. And that's part of becoming more enlightened. If you can shut up when it comes to other people, right? And really open up about what we can improve, need to improve, or must improve, things will get much better very quickly. So for weaknesses, you need to be as unbiased as possible. You should list resource limitations, competitor advantages, or lack of experience. Commonly, new loan officers lack relationships and a marketing budget. Understanding your disadvantages will protect you from failure, allowing you to plug the holes in your model quickly. And this is important. There are holes in your, especially if you're not funding what you want to fund, there are holes in your model, and you can only have that hole for so long before your boat sinks and you're out of the business. Every year, thousands and thousands of people fail. And we're going to see it here in our bank. Every year, tons of people fail to renew their NMLS license because they just simply say, more money is going out the window that's coming in the front door. And that's true. Except instead of quitting, maybe you should change your approach. So what are some of your weaknesses? Anybody? As a loan officer, anybody? I'll give you one right now. The inability to participate and unmute yourself and talk in front of other people. That's a huge weakness, because you really think you're going to get in front of a room full of police officers? I mean, is that really going to lie to yourself about that? Or teachers or nurses? Where we make the most money is where people are unable to unfreeze themselves from. So being unable to communicate and, you know, unmute yourself, that's a big one, huge one. What else? What are some of your weaknesses? And I'm talking about mine now. My biggest weakness right now is getting back to some people in a timely manner, because I'm lying to myself that I'm traveling, that I'm busy, that I want to deal with them, whatever. And so that's, there you go, follow-up. Somebody just put it in, heck, just put it in there, follow-up. That's a big killer for me, for most people. So what's a good way to defeat that? Technology. Now, instead of me having somebody call, usually people would call me and say, hey, I came across your video on YouTube. Can you give me a call? And I would be like, okay, I'll call you later. I'm in Maui. Cool. And then a week later would go by, 2 weeks, and nothing. And I would just feel so stupid calling back for such a long time. I just wouldn't call them. Now what I do when somebody calls me, and some of you that are on the webinar experienced it. You'll call me up, say, hey, I came across your video on YouTube, ask some questions. I won't call them back. I'll text them back and say, here, go to loanofficerswanted.us. There's a quick video that tells you about our opportunity and our comp plan. If it still interests you, then by all means, click on the red button and schedule a webinar. And sure enough, people do that. And then the webinar takes over through Calendly with reminder text messages and so on. And so that's how I've overcome one of my greatest weaknesses by leveraging the power of technology as well. Automation is the answer. Absolutely. Everything happens automatically. I have like 6 webinars next week that were scheduled. I was in Mexico, unavailable, didn't really want to talk to anybody. It's okay to be in that position, but don't leave the people hanging either. And that's where automation and technology can help you do that. What's another of your weaknesses? Anybody?
The lack of consistency on the focus on my social media marketing.
Perfect. Okay, because we know that it's kind of like pumping a bicycle tire. That if I get a flat, I fix it, I patch it, and then I go in there and I pump it one time. Well, that's not going to be enough. I pump it a second time. That's not going to be enough. I have a tire pump. I'm going to have to pump until the pressure goes up high enough that when I release it, a little bit of air is going to come out, like it always does. But overall, it's still functional. And so, the 2 best pieces of advice I got as it relates to what we're talking about, I'll never forget this, was in the mortgage industry about 20 years ago. And this person said, what you need to do is stop stopping and quit quitting. And I was like, damn, that's a good way to put it. Stop stopping and quit quitting. Very true. Very true. Because I always started everything. I just never finished it. That's a great weakness that I still have to this day. So that's why if you ever follow me around throughout the day, there's about 1,000 people that need to talk to me, want to talk to me, and there's about 1,000 things I need to do. I would say never, but almost never start something without finishing it. And then I go on to the next thing. Otherwise, I'll have 12 tabs open on my computer, or my browser, of things I started. I'm paying a bill here. I'm reserving tickets over there. I'm replying to my YouTube audience over there, and nothing is really done. And that's even worse, because now you think you're busy when you're just wasting time. So I'm with you. That's me. And so my solution to that is, if you're going to start something, don't stop it until you're done, and then move on. And the way we do that, we don't allow other people to control us. So if my wife calls me up and says, hey, somebody's calling you. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something. I'll call them back. And then when I'm done, I'll get back to them. Other weaknesses, anybody? Everybody else is perfect.
Javier, one of my weaknesses is that I just don't know how to use the marketing of Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube effectively. And therefore, I'm not getting the results that I want.
Yes. What I recommend are 2 things. Either, because I've done this. I know how a lot of those things work myself, but a lot of the time, because of the lack of consistency on my part as well. So what I've learned to do, my last campaign of ads, I actually paid somebody. And because, they're in Bangladesh and stuff, they're inexpensive. They charged me $30 to run my entire campaign. And it was the best $30 I ever spent. So consider on things that you really don't understand, because the problem with technology is that you could be doing 99% of the things right. 1% is not done right, not necessarily wrong, just simply not right. And it still doesn't give you the results you wanted. So if you can outsource anything, it will help you. And the best place that I know, Fiverr, not fiber that you eat the fiber, but Fiverr, like in the number 5, FIVERR.com, will do it. The only thing you got to be careful is stay away. Well, I don't say stay away, but budget wise, if they're based out of the US, they're going to want $1,000. If they are based out of, let's just say, Bangladesh or some India and so on, they'll do the same thing for $20, and they'll do an even better job, because that's all they breathe and eat. Fiverr. That's number 1. Number 2 is what I also do. And again, I like these long flights because I can take classes. I can do that, is to take online classes that allow you to better yourself. So I try to take 1 course a week on, like right now, I'm starting my new course on, which I have never run an actual ad on YouTube, even though it's the best place. It's the world's best kept secret if you want to market. Why do you think, and I've asked you this before, and I'm going to ask you guys again to see who was paying attention. What's the common, what is the one thing that differentiates ads on Facebook versus ads on YouTube? What is the one key thing that differentiates the 2? Anybody?
I think you have mentioned that they're specific to the topic.
Okay, what is it again? You're on, I did mention it before. What is it? What's the answer?
That they're specific to the topic. Let's say my topic is loans. When people type in loans, it might direct them to my video.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're there. And so the answer is Facebook is in the business of interrupting people. I'm looking at a kitty video. I'm looking at my video from Mexico. Every 3 posts, there's an ad on Facebook. Just so you know, that's the algorithm. You see a post from your friend, you see a post from somebody else, you see a post from somebody else, and then an ad. And then you see another post and a post and a post and an ad. A post, a post, a post, and an ad. That's how it works on Facebook. And so you have to kind of guess who would want to see what it is you're trying to sell and interrupt their browsing. And hopefully they get, and so that's why curiosity, that's why the video or the ad has to be catchy enough for them to say, let me click on this guy trying to, or girl or gal trying to get me a loan or a home or whatever. It's tough. It's tough. So the difference is that you have to interrupt to get their attention on Facebook. YouTube, on the other hand, people are searching for what it is you're going to advertise for. So I get most of my people, like you guys, somebody typed in, how do I get sponsored with the NMLS? How do I get a bank to sponsor me? How do I make money with my NMLS license? And lo and behold, Javier's video pops up on just that. I'm answering what you are asking for. Does that make sense? And so therefore, if you're going to be in the mortgage business, real estate business, get in the habit of being just a good marketer. So my videos are how to get sponsored with the NMLS. And the title is what's going to help you. The hashtags are going to help you. How to buy a home with little to no down payment. How to get a home with the VA loan. How to leverage your VA loan entitlement. When you start doing that, people will come to you because they're already looking for what you offer. And most of you here found me that way. That's the key difference between the two. And so a weakness for me right now is not understand. Now, I get a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people on YouTube. I've never paid a dime to YouTube. So what YouTube says, look, Javier, you're doing good. But if you're willing to pay us $20 a day, $10 a day, we will go out of our way to not leave anything to chance. We will rank you at the top. I'll pay it. I don't care. And so that's why right now my weakness is not knowing how those ads work. So guess what? I'm taking a course. It's $27 to understand how YouTube ads work. It's the best $27 I spent. I would recommend to do something like that, Michael, to go ahead and then once you search for it online, guess what? All your Facebook ads are going to start popping up with classes on marketing, mortgages, and real estate, and so on, because that's how the pixel works as well. Anybody else? What's your weakness? I mean, everybody here that did not fund the number of loans they wanted to fund in the month of September needs to say something for your own good. I'm not being nosy. I don't care. It's up to you. I just want to help you. But part of us getting better is acknowledging where we are. We have to know where we stand. So if you want to come to, I live in Ontario. If you want to come to my house and you're going to call me for directions to my home, well, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, where the hell are you? Okay, I'm in the Valley. I'm in San Pedro. I'm in Riverside. Okay, because it's different how you get here from San Pedro than how you get from Riverside. So there's nothing wrong with that. But that's part of our issues. This is, don't take it personal. Just know that, we all have weaknesses. I have more weaknesses than all of you put together. And so I'm not here trying to talk down to you. I'm trying to literally pull you up. I don't like to push people up because the view is a lot better when you're pulling them up than when you're trying to push them up. And number two, when you pull somebody up means that you're already there and you're just trying to get them up to your level as well for experience. Any other weaknesses? Everybody else is perfect. Anyway.
I've got to find a way to try to target and break the seal on a communication with a local pastor to start the church loop. That's a goal of mine, definitely, to try to nail that.
Along those lines, we'll share something with you to help you validate that you're on the right track. Because see, one of the things, Stephen, that you need to also get, that I don't do anything. Like right now, I'm going to Cabo. I'm not stupid. I can't stand timeshare. I can have nothing against anybody who owns a timeshare. I can't stand the damn things. Okay, so for me to go check this thing out, fractional ownership. I mean, I'm not stupid. I mean, I want validation, and to me, the validation is my friend that we were about to each pay half and half on $350,000. That now he pays a lot less. He held on to his cash, and now he's leveraging by renting it out. I want validation. that's one of the, and part of the reason that I want validation, let's just say like you with marketing, is because once you get validation, now it should increase the pressure on you to go get it done. So what I want to do with you, I want to share you right now. Let me show you this right here, huh? I know you can't see it, so bear with me, please. Let me see what the hell is it. Oh, here it is. And so I'm gonna pull it up right now. Okay, so here we go. And so here's an example. So now I am going to pull it up on the screen so you can see it. Here it is. All right. So I know you can see it now. This is Alan Guerra, old loan originator. Well, not old, but originator. Here's an example of right here. Here's a video that just got uploaded from this lady. And I don't know if you can hear it. His name is Alan Guerra.
Hola, Bill. I couldn't having a great time. Thanks to Mr. Alan Guerra. Thank you very much.
And again, she's just saying thank you to Alan Guerra. And so the reason I'm sharing this with you, two things: the marketing certificates. If you're not leveraging them, you got to leverage them. Number two, she's a client of his that came from a church. And so he killed two birds with one stone, where got into the church, got a client, made a ton of money on this deal. And on top of that, was able to send her to Cancun using the vacation certificates that we are all a part or should be a part of. So if you're not part, like here, if you look here on the left, a good portion of what he receives. And so what I'm getting at is that it's not that you have to find the one thing that works for you, because I will tell you that it's no such thing. And so you want to make sure that as a loan originator, that you have to be a good fisherman, and you have to have multiple fishing rods out in the water at any given time. There's not one thing that works for everybody every single time. So in this example, he's giving away a complimentary vacation to Las Vegas, 3 nights, just to get a lead, basically. That makes sense. That makes sense. And so not only that, but if you notice in here, a lot of the videos that he has are of people that have gone on the vacations that we're talking about. Here I am. Here's the lady you just saw right now. Here's another one in Cancun. And so what I'm getting at is that when you go here, you'll see so many people that have gone. There are past clients that are there, testimonials right here. Here's a Spanish speaker one. You don't have to speak Spanish to do it, but there he is, a Spanish speaker right there. And so the point is that you really do have to have multiple fishing rods out in the water at any given point. What is the class you are taking for YouTube? I'll send it to you. It's called the YouTube Master Ad Class. The Master YouTube Ad Class, and I'll send it to you, Michael. Well, I'll send it to everybody, because I think you should definitely, you can't be in this business and not know how the hell YouTube ads work, because that will make your life not just easier, but most importantly, it will help make it more profitable. And so anyway, so let me continue here. So no more, last call for weaknesses. Any other mortals running around here? Well, we have our demigods or something. Come on, anybody. And again, why do you think I ask you that? I hate to do this, but Stephen, you're one of the guys that's talking. Why do you think I ask people to mention their weakness? Why? To be nosy? What do you think?
Well, you've got to have some kind of self-awareness about who you are. I mean, I struggle all the time with a million things, but I'm determined to figure this out. I'm determined to figure out the next goal, but without self-awareness or being able to fairly, look at your own part in things, otherwise you're just pointing fingers and blaming all over the place, which isn't going to get anywhere.
Thank you. And most importantly on my end is to help you, not just help you identify, because you're going to be the one that identifies it, but to change it. I think you were destined for success. I think you were destined to live the life you deserve, your family, your kids, your legacy. I think it's all doable, but you got to take the responsibility. It's like me saying, I'm so bummed out they won't let me operate on people. Well, are you a doctor? Well, no. Are you a surgeon? No. Have you been to medical school? Well, no, I don't want to go do all that crap. I just want to cut them up. They're like, well, maybe you should go do that or shut up. I mean, you have to earn the right to complain.
And in all transparency and fairness, I just want to say to everybody, I'm not out here closing 8 to 10 deals a month. I'm trying to find my way and make my way. So I'm not, trying to be unfair to anybody or judge anybody. I struggle myself. I'm not out here, rolling deals out left and right either. So.
And I think that's the most, even more reasons to commend you, because like I said, this whole business is, once you figured it out and you hit a rhythm, you just keep the rhythm going. That's what this business is about. And the greatest challenge for most people is not that they're dumb or they're stupid or they don't know technology. No, it's finding that rhythm that I'm referring to, that I want to help you find. But if in your mind you have no weaknesses, but yet you're not closing what you want to close. Well, we cannot have them both coexist at the same time. It's not possible. So I know, like I told you, I'm embarrassed to say I have no freaking clue how YouTube ads work. So before I throw money at it, I'd rather throw money at a course for a whopping $27. I'll send you guys the link. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get nothing for it, just so you know. It's just where I bought it. And it walks you through the whole thing. That's why I keep telling you that every week you cannot drag. I got 10. Let's call that $10 cup of coffee. I'll give you a $10 Starbucks gift card that I'll text you at the end of the webinar to your phone if you can tell me who said the following quote. And he said, "You can't step in the same river twice. Once, going twice." I know somebody's trying to Google it, so it's not fair. You can't step into this. You can't step in the same river twice. Anybody?
Mark Twain.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, at least
Abraham
we
Lincoln.
Okay. No, but yeah, it's over at this point because, like I said, I don't. It just to prove to you what I'm trying to show you. Let me show you. Here, let me just show you this right here, and let's just call it a done deal. Let me show you right here. And if you notice, when I started to type it up at the top, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm literally just typing it. It popped up automatically. I just typed in, "You can't step," and it says "in the same river twice." And so the answer is Heraclitus. He's an old Greek philosopher. And what do you think he meant by that? Anybody? Like anything with philosophy, it's open to interpretation. So I'm not saying I have the answer, but
Things are constantly changing.
I mean, they're changing how fast, how quickly.
Quicker than saying it.
As quickly as we're saying it, that river just probably, the moving water just probably moved that little pebble a millimeter this way, half a meter that way. And so what I'm getting at, anybody else, what are your thoughts on that? Miraculous quote.
Once you're in the river, you need to stay in the river.
Okay,
Not
you need to
get
stay on
out,
the river. Huh?
get
That's a
back
big
in.
one. Stay in the game. Don't be these people that are going to give up the license this year. Every year it happens. Every single year. Nope, wasn't for me. It was a total waste of time. Too much competition. The damn rocket mortgages of the world have all the business. So it wasn't me. It was everybody but me. So I'm out of here. I'm gonna go try something else. And guess what? The same damn thing happens over there. Yeah. And so in a nutshell, as I interpret it, and the way I've applied it to my life, is that the world that we operated in last week doesn't exist this week. Rates have gone up, rates have gone down, things have changed. I mean, the next week. And so what I'm saying is that we cannot ever say that the job has been finished in regards to learning how to market in this industry. Things change. If you're a MLO with us, you get the emails a couple of times a week from how the everything has changed. The requirements have changed for this program. This program is gone. This program has, and then here we have people asking about a program that they saw 6 months ago. It's like, dude, you got the email. And so that's what I mean by you can't step in the same river twice and do that. So let's just wrap it up, and we're going to go ahead and continue. So last call for weaknesses. Nobody else has any weaknesses. Cool. Let's just continue. And we're talking about opportunities. That's what the O stands for. The opportunity section is where you will list market opportunities in your area. For example, underserved regions, few competitors, emerging needs for your services, all work in this section. Understanding where your service is well received will create incredible sales efficiency. So talk to me about your opportunities in your world. Anybody? I'll start. Law enforcement, the police market, the campaign, the materials we give you, the sponsorship we run with Baker to Vegas. So to me, you can start in the police world and stay there forever, even though you shouldn't because it's seasonal sometimes. But that alone will give you 2 fundings a month if you just simply have to do it every single month. Just the police. And what do I offer police officers? Well, the opportunity to, number one, get the lowest rates that will beat their credit unions. And if we cannot beat your credit union on an apples to apples basis, I'll give you $200 cash just for your time. Number one. Number two, if you don't own a home and we represent you on the real estate and the mortgage side, we will pay every penny of closing costs, allowing you to walk in with nothing more than your down payment. On top of that, we will go ahead and on the refinance side, we'll go ahead and give you a refund. of your appraisal upon the funding and only upon the funding of your loan, so that you literally paid nothing out of pocket as well. And on and on and on. Tell me about your opportunities, anybody. And this, I will require you to say something if you consider yourself in the business. If you're not in the business on a serious basis, then yeah, stay quiet. But if you're telling me that you're in the mortgage origination business, especially with us, I would expect you to speak up about your opportunities.
Your phone database.
Okay, now we're talking about more about the market opportunities in your area, who you're going to work, what are you working, that kind of approach. That will be more of a strength, your database, yes. But how about an opportunity?
Okay, yeah, first-time buyer seminars that you do.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Now we're talking about first-time seminars. And so the beauty behind that is to have one thing going, in my opinion, of a two-step dance. Number one is to have the actual first-time. That's a sexy, just so you know, very sexy theme of to have the first-time homebuyer seminars, which are either in-person webinars. And the second component is you have to have a recorded version online, because sometimes people don't want to wait when they're searching, when they come across you on Facebook, when they come across on YouTube, they want info right now. So you can't tell them, well, next Thursday at 7 p.m., join me on this. Well, you don't want to do that. Say, we do have a live webinar next Thursday. However, you can click here and see it for yourself right now. So you have to have it automated. And that's like the website landing pages we have. So that's a big one. I love that one. First-time home buyers. And the only thing that's more powerful of an opportunity is a movement. And a movement simply means that I am running the No Homeowner Left Behind. We are the Fire Your Landlord campaign that we're passionate about helping you fire your landlord and becoming a homeowner, maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years. The longest I've waited for the person to be ready for homeownership for me is about 4 years. And they went from crappy credit to good enough credit, from not a lot of money to enough money. And that's what you want to do. So you have to be passionate about that's why I call them campaigns. The police campaign is big for me. For me, the Fire Your Landlord campaign is a very big deal because it encompasses all that. How about else? Anybody else? Somebody different? Come on. What do you do?
I like virtual educational events.
Okay. I think the beauty behind virtual right now is that everybody, unlike 3 years ago, 2 years ago, what? That's so impersonal. That's crap. Now, everybody's doing that. Other buyers talking about the veterans campaign, the VA campaign, very, very sexy. And some of these, just so you know what, the reason I'm so passionate about them, some of these campaigns overlap. And how do they overlap? Well, I could be working the police campaign, and who makes up a good portion of the police officers?
That's
The veterans. Absolutely. I could be talking about the campaign for first-time homebuyers, let's say. First-time homebuyers campaign. Where's the perfect place to mention that, if not hold the events in? First-time campaigns, first-time homeowners. Churches. Why do you think a church would give a damn about somebody being a homeowner? Real quick, spit it out. Come on. Why?
Stability.
What do you mean stability?
If they're buying a home, they get stability. Obviously,
Okay.
they're gonna pay less in rent. They're gonna pay more in tithes.
Okay, so housing stability. That's a noble reason. They're just helping people, right? Is what you're saying. Okay, making them better. Okay, I agree. What else?
help builds a stable community and a stronger church.
Okay, now we're getting to where we need to learn when it comes to marketing. I can tell you all about why I do something, but if I show you why you should do something that benefits you, 10 times more powerful. So if I'm talking to the pastor, the priest, the rabbi, whoever, and I'm asking a very simple question, you also realize that when they are homeowners, not only are they going to have a more stable home, meaning but they're going to belong to the church for a lot longer. And that's how you also end up with multi-generational membership to the church. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Do you think that matters to a church leader? One of the problems they have is the same problem I have, which is recruiting the members, especially now when you get this rise of the virtual church. That's tough to beat. And so what else? Anybody else? Opportunities. Come on.
Just working with local real estate agents, providing the 360 home tour
Thank you.
and vacation certificates for people that walk into their open houses.
Thank you. If you don't have the vacation certificates, I don't know why you would go into this business because I can walk into a real estate office, into a school, and just simply talk the talk. But when you lead by giving, I just wanted to start by donating this to the church, by donating this to this, by thinking with this. Your stock as a loan officer goes through the roof. And now you don't have just happy clients. You have what I call advocates. Advocates is what you want to eventually get to. I can call right now somebody in the Valley and schedule a presentation for police officers, not because I'm an approved vendor, because I'm not. Nobody's supposed to be in a roll call, but because they're advocates of mine. There's something in it for them that I've done in the past in their family that they just go out of their way to get me in there. Most of the places we go to, we're not supposed to be there. You know that. That's why you don't go there. Well, find a way there. And the way there usually has more to do with you giving something to somebody else than what's in it for you. Nobody cares that you're just looking to make money. You want to survive. You want to hit your goals. But they do care about themselves. And to be able to do that. Advocates is the word that we'll do for another day. Anybody else? Opportunity. So there's nothing going on in your world, which is why maybe your level of success is not where it should be. Come on, guys. Previous co-workers from job. Okay, again, so we're back to the same thing. Church members, yes. Now, the question, which is a very hard question for all of us to answer, is what have we done with what we just mentioned? Now, maybe the answer is nothing. I just let it slip this past week. Well, guess why we're here? We are here today to make the coming week a productive week. And what does productive mean? Doesn't mean making money, because I'll tell you right now, you're not going to originate a loan on Monday and fund it and get paid for it by Friday. Means planting the seeds of success. You cannot inspect what you don't expect. And so therefore, it's important. And I hope nobody takes it the wrong way. I don't apologize for it, but I'm telling you right now that I learned that if you talk to people the way they are, they're going to stay the way they are. If you treat people the way they are, they're going to stay the way they are. But if you talk and you treat people the way they should be, they are more likely to become that person they were destined to become. So that's all I want for you, to be making $500,000 a year. It's not that difficult. I'll be the very first to tell you it's not that hard. It's not that easy, but it's very doable. You've done the baby part, which is get licensed. Great, bless your heart. Now that is useless unless you do something with it. And to be able to do that. Last call for opportunities. Everybody else, you have no opportunities in your world. None. That's what you're telling yourself, or that's what you're telling yourself.
Yeah, well, the opportunity is right now is the investor Fannie Freddie just is releasing that. So that's huge, because if you can get a fourplex at at a Fannie or Freddie rate,
sure.
I mean, you've locked in a great cash flow. So
on the mortgage side, alluding to that, on the training, because Rhett's not going to be on the training to do his part. All I have to share with you is the loan limits, conforming loan limits, have been increased, which is cool. A very good increase at that. So now that many more people qualify for what we offer with those great terms that Gary's referring to. So again, there has to be something, whether it's under one thing that I mentioned earlier. It says here, few competitors. I have no competitors, because my biggest competitor is myself. And if you do want to talk about competitors, people still love to talk to somebody, to know that they're talking to a human being. That's one of your aces. People see that as a negative thing. You're never going to compete with the bots over at Rocket Mortgage. I don't want to compete with them. I'm competing with the people that we refi over and over, because they come back to us because they trust us. Even if there was a lower rate somewhere by an eighth of a point or something, they're not going to go for it and take a chance on a relationship that's not there. They're going to come to you. And because we don't gouge our clients, I have never lost a deal due to a rate compared to a competitor, a credit union, never. Because to me, the relationships where the money is. So even if I only make $1,000, $5,000, I don't care. I'm not in it for that money. I'm in it for the relationship. And with the relationship comes the referrals and everything else as well. One more opportunities, going once, twice. All right, well, let's just go ahead and get going. And then I'm just going to wrap it up with this right here with our threats. Threats are, well, fairly straightforward. This section will include outside factors that can hold your business back from success, often emerging competitors, increased regulation, negative PR that can threaten your success in a given industry. Once you have created a thorough SWOT analysis, the next step in your loan officer marketing template is defining your target audience. So talk to me about threats real quick, please. Anybody, as a loan officer, I'll start with the biggest one.
Rocket mortgage.
Well-
One.
Okay, the biggest threat, just so you know, is me for my business. That's why I have to keep in check. It's me. Like I said, I'm not going to get all into my personal life, but as you guys know, I had a little bit of a health issues earlier in the year. I'm not officially a diabetic, and I'm not going to stand up and show you my gut, but I have stuck in my gut CGM, which is a constant glucose monitor. It's something that, unlike most people, diabetics, they prick their finger, every day, once a day, every couple of days to see how their sugar's doing. This one is in my stomach, and it literally sends it to my phone every 5 minutes. I can't wait for a day or 2 days to find out that it's been high to finally do something about it. I was having dinner last night. I do really, really good most of the time when it comes to eating. Last night we went with the business partners and friends, and we were at I forget what the hell it's called. Anyways, it's a steakhouse or whatever. And so we were there having a great time, and then lo and behold, I'm enjoying a rib. Our friend said, like, hey, put some barbecue sauce. We said, no, I shouldn't be having that crap because it's high fructose basically. And I take a munch at it, and we're talking, and then before you know it, my watch is bzz, 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 your sugar hit 180. All right, time to put it down on the spot. I'm done. We were done with dinner anyways. I walk outside, and we were going to go straight to the car. I said, nope, can't do that. I went down. It was the Chino Hills, the shops at Chino Hills, and I got to do a few laps. I got to walk. My wife being very supportive. She's like, well, let's do it. Went, walked. And before you know it, 100 sugar's down to 120. There we go. Then you get in the car, and then you go home and sleep or whatever. And so the point that I'm making is a constant glucose monitor. What we need is a constant activity monitor. And so I know that my threat to my diabetes is me. And so I have to stay on top of it every 5 minutes. Now, I think every diabetic on earth should have it. I get it. It's very expensive. The program costs $500 a month. So most people are not going to do that. To me, it's an investment in my health. It's an investment in the business, an investment. So I don't care. I buy it a couple of months prepay a couple of months at a time just to have it with me. I was in Mexico. My sensor expired. Just stapled, stuck a new one in there, and do what you got to do. So I know that my biggest threat is me. Now, when it comes to success and income and loans, again, my greatest threat is myself. Now, somebody said, rocket mortgage. Yeah, of course they are. They are going to be a threat, and it's something that you're going to have to learn to deal with and mitigate, so it minimizes the impact on your business. So yeah, that's one of them. What else? What other threats are out there? We talked about rocket. What else? Just any kind of threats. Anybody?
COVID
could be a big one. And I think part of what helps us when it comes to something like COVID, I think it's the best thing ever to happen to us that now virtual is cool. And so the last couple of loans, I don't remember the last time I met with anybody, to be honest with you, to wrap up a loan with. We've been doing everything via, and now that freed me up to call. Like I told you, I was in Mexico, I was in Dubai, Abu Dhabi doing webinars. People didn't know where the hell I was. They just see the same background you see right now with Rainy Mortgage Bank. They think I'm in my office. I don't know where the hell they think I'm at, but I'm in a hotel room or I'm in the balcony like I was in Mexico. It doesn't matter. So, but COVID could be. What else? Threats. I'll give you a hint. There's two types of threats in everything we do, internal and external. So maybe that helps you out. What's one of the internal threats you think that we have? Anybody? Man, you guys are tough.
Yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Yourself. And that's absolutely right. That's the greatest threat, like I said. But part of that includes, like Michael was just asking me, what course was I taking? I'm going to send it to him. I'm going to email him the link to the course that I get nothing for it. But ignorance. How can you compete with the person, the loan officer, that understands the power of, let's just say, YouTube and YouTube ads? You can put $5 a day into your campaign. If you're at $0 in marketing, you shouldn't be in business right now. Go get a job, save $500 or $1,000. And when you have that money, then come and try to play. Because come on, you're going to have to put some money into the business. Most people go to school, college, universities, spend all kinds of money there, and they have not just the degree to prove it, but they have the student loan debt to prove it. But yet they didn't bitch and complain when they were getting in debt over that. Whereas here, we don't want to put anything into the business sometimes, and you can't do that. So, like I said, Ignorance is an internal threat that if, like me, I don't know. I couldn't do a class today on how YouTube ads work because I just don't know enough about it. So how do you fix that? Well, you go take a course, go learn. And yeah, you might have to pay for it. But when you pay for it, I found that we pay more attention when we pay for something when it's given to us for free. So even if I had a free course on YouTube ads, I wouldn't pass it out because I'd rather have only 2 people pay for it. And I don't make nothing out of it, but they implement it and we succeed. We're stronger together than giving something for free to everybody when it just doesn't get applied. Any other threats? So we can wrap it up then. You can't think of any other threats. Come on. All right. Well, like I said, I'm not going to pull teeth here, but I just really want you to at least review parts of this video. Hopefully you were taking down the acronym of SWOT, what it each stands for. Just on a piece of paper, write down SWOT straight down a column, and then next to it, write down what applies to you. Some of you will, most will not. And next week we'll be in the same damn spot, and next month in the same damn spot, and we'll be talking into 2022, how it's almost over. And some people are going to be in the same damn spot, which is a spot they don't want to be in. And again, just, we got to take responsibility for our successes and also for our failures, because at the end of the day, nobody controls us as well as we do. Like I said, I'm very grateful for my CGM, which is the constant glucose monitor. I try to have in my mind a constant activity monitor. I hope you're the same way. For some people, the only thought they give their mortgage business is when it's Saturday morning and time for a webinar. It's too late. You don't want to do that. You've got what it takes. You're destined to win. But in life and in business, we don't get what we want. We get what we deserve. And I hope you put in the work so that you do deserve to collect the rewards that are right around the corner, if only you can do your part as well. Any questions at all before we wrap it up? Anything at all? Well, I just simply want to say thank you, Michael. I'll send you the link to the YouTube ads class. I think it's $27, $29. I think it's 27. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to like it. I hope these classes or webinars are worth it. I hope you are at the value you also need it. Okay, I'll send it to you as well. I'll send it to you as well. And again, you can never step in the same river twice. Don't drag the old you, the old uneducated compared to the new world you next week from this week. And above all, don't drag the same old you into 2022 that was around in 2021. That person is not as useful as you think, and it's definitely not going to be useful for 2022. It's the same river, but it's not going to be the same river twice. So therefore, you got to be the new and improved you that's going to get you across the finish line. Last call for questions, comments, or concerns. Anybody? Going once, twice. And again, I hope you find these webinars useful. I hope you don't take them the wrong way. I hope you don't think I'm beating up on you, because I'm not doing that whatsoever. The only thing that I will do, I will tell you, I will drag you kicking and screaming across that finish line called success if I have to, as long as you at least don't fight me too much. But you're closer to what you're looking for, what you deserve than you can even imagine. Just please do your part. All right. All right, guys. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. And I look forward to speaking to you next Saturday again. Thank you.
Thanks, Javier.
Thanks.
Thank you, Javier.
Thank you.
Thanks, Xavier.